Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will. Today we have two league games for you, away against Peterborough Sports and at home against what has been a bit of a bogey team for us so far this season, Marine. Going into these two games, form has been very much hit and miss, but as you can see from the league table, we are not looking too bad. We are sat in 8th place, just outside the playoff places at the moment. Again, we're struggling for that consistency in our game, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with where we're stood at the minute, and we do have a bit of a gap to 11th place Spennymoor. So mid-table is looking like a very realistic objective that we can achieve now this season. We just need to try and keep picking up these wins where we can. In terms of recent fixtures, January has been a bit of a tough month realistically. We've won a few and lost a few in effect, and again, it's just there's just a little bit of a lack of consistency going on, and it is a bit difficult to get things right on a regular basis at the moment. But we have seen minor improvements as we've gone on. We've got wins against Kidderminster, Leamington, and Spennymoor, with defeats against Bedford, Telford, and Hereford. And strangely, we've won the away games but lost the home games, whereas at the start of the season it was the other way around. So there's still a lot going on. We're trying to get things done behind the scenes as well. We now have a coaching badge that we are studying for. So that will help me improve my career prospects as well. And hopefully, from that perspective, it will also improve things where the team's concerned. And the board have also agreed to try and give us a senior affiliate so we can get players in on loan without the cost of wages. Hopefully, the board can come back to us and find a decent club, potentially in League One, maybe. That'd be the perfect scenario. League One, even League Two, based on where we're sat at the moment. I would be quite pleased with that, and hopefully we can be able to set ourselves up a little bit better in that we can bring loan players in from these clubs and not spend out on wages, which again would be the ideal scenario when it goes into next season. So looking at into these two games, Peterborough Sports and Marine have struggled so far this season. I'm hoping we can get off to a good start in today's episode. Um, Obviously, expectations are that we just need to try and keep doing what we're doing at the moment, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Because, like I say, anything can happen in these matches. There's even in good form, we might still lose. It's a very strange situation. We are continuing to play Charlie Weston and Tony Weston at the moment. Um, Form-wise is okay, as I've just shown you, but players do want a little bit more game time, and players like Charlie Weston, especially in the midfield, we want to keep him next season. At the moment, we cannot get him to sign a new deal because he is unhappy. We have managed to make a couple of signings as well. So Ben Midgley has come into the club. He's a central midfield player, 22 years of age, and he's quite reasonable, to be honest. And Fraser Harper, who's a 19-year-old. I tried to sign him at the start of the season, and unfortunately, he wanted a little bit too much money, but he has managed to come in now. Again, he can play central midfield, but he can also play as an option up front. And we have lost a few players as well. Some of the reserve players that we knew we weren't going to sign new contracts, I have decided to offload them early so that we could get some of these players in. We still have a little bit of wage budget available as well. But obviously, in terms of the players that we want to keep at the club, that is where the wage budget is going to be going. So the new signings haven't broken into the first team to start as of yet, but they are good rotational options for us, especially in that midfield area. We need the bodies in there ready for next season because the likes of obviously Jack James and Owen Eames as well, they are in on loan. So we needed the replacements to come in and they can get used to the way that we're playing as well in the end of this season, realistically. So hopefully they can settle into the squad and we can get off to a good start today here against Peterborough Sports and get another 3 points on the board. That would be ideal. I wasn't expecting to be in a playoff chase. Realistically, I think we're not ready for that yet, especially when in relation to the squad itself, we haven't really decided on which players are going to be staying or going or anything like that. We need to try and find a bit of a level with the squad And at the moment, it is going to be a little bit of a difficult one. And that's a great ball over the top from Ambersley, and Tony Weston is in. And that's a brilliant Route 1 goal. It's not, I mean, it's kind of the style of play we're going for, but from the winger style of play that we're looking at, I expected a bit more of a run there from Ambersley, but he played the ball early over the top. It's a great run from Tony Weston. Brilliantly timed ball over the top from Ambersley. And Tony Weston with the finish, a very confident finish, incidentally, considering he's only scored 6 or 7 goals throughout the course of the campaign. Of course, Spencer has been the main number 9. As far as I'm aware, I think Spencer's contract actually expires at the end of next season anyway, so we would have him still at the club anyway. I think we've still got Weston as well, so certain options, we're looking reasonably positive. Obviously, the 2 new signings are contracted as well till the end of next season. So we are starting that build, even though we're only at the start of February. So it needs to be done realistically, but hopefully, then when it comes to the summer, we just have to pick out a few positions. And that's a very poor goal from our point of view to concede. Corner kick, swung in, Ryan Fryatt, pretty much unchallenged realistically. He was supposed to be being marked there. I mean, to be fair, the markers stayed with him there, but Fryatt just a little bit stronger than his opponent, and Peterborough Sports get the equaliser pretty much against the run of play as well, which is a little bit frustrating, but again, we just have to keep pushing and hope for the best. Richards with the header, James into Eames. I mean, there's loads of space on that left-hand side, but Eames has gone for goal. I mean, we could have worked it a little bit differently there, to be honest. Eames had the space to be able to pick that pass. Ambersley was completely free on that left-hand side. And when things go down to that back 3 of Peterborough Sports, especially with how advanced our wingers are due to get in the game, we could be in for good counter-attacking options. And Eames here, this time, does play to the left-hand side. Ambersley's had to come back, though, but he's played it forward, and there's an Olim's in behind. Chance to get it into the penalty area, and there is Tony Weston, and he's just a glancing header. But again, Weston, unfortunately, not really reading the play as well as he should be there, and he was actually offside in the end. But certainly promising from our perspective. We need the wingers to be on point today with the fact that they've got that narrow back 3. Those wing backs could be a problem for us when they move forward a bit, but from a defensive perspective, we should be putting them under a bit more pressure in the second half. We've created enough chances. We need to continue to push here, and hopefully we can do so. I'm not too disheartened by the performance. It's a very good performance, in fact, but we just need a little bit of extra quality up front. The goal that we scored showed good quality. We need to replicate that a little bit more often, in my opinion. Just try and cut out 1 or 2 silly mistakes. I mean, from the set piece, it worked very well for them. I'm not too blind to see that it was a very good corner routine that they've put in there, but defensively we just weren't really strong enough, and it is something that we might need to address going into next season. But in the second half, it's been a very even game. Obviously, no highlights as of yet. A very much a midfield battle at the moment. And we are going to make a couple of changes. Stobbs has taken a knock, so we're going to take him off. Weston has played out wide on occasion, so we're going to bring Spencer on up front. In terms of actual fitness-wise, we're not looking too bad. Charlie Weston, a little bit nervy at the moment, so we'll get the experience in there of Adam Barton as well. Everyone else is relatively composed. There's nothing too much that we need to be doing in terms of substitutions, realistically. Where... Oh, Midget's gone to the top, I see him there. So, I mean, to be fair, we could give the youngsters an opportunity in the midfield. Eames and James have been a little bit poor, and I think we will do. We'll just go out there and give it a go, see what happens with them. And hopefully, they can have decent games today. Like I say, they've not really broken into the side yet, but big opportunities for them in realistically what is going to be their proper debuts with about 25 minutes to go. And hopefully we can create a little bit more. We are on that positive mentality, but this second half, they've just kind of nullified us a little bit poor from our perspective. But it is what it is. And again, realistically, when you had the shouts in FM24, I'd be demanding more and demanding more right now to try and push the lads forward. But it's just not happened in this second half. And very much a lack of highlights, and games ended up petering out a little bit. We've got 20 seconds left, and I don't know if this is going to be one of those end of game highlights where nothing happens, but Ambersley holding on to possession, finding Ezanolim, and we're just knocking it around the back here. I would like us to get it forward if possible. Sobavale into Tony Weston. Now Richards into Fraser Hubbard, squares it for Spencer, and he's just mistimed his run. He's just offside. We finally broke the line, and unfortunately, it's a bit too little, too late, really. And a 1-0 draw, disappointing, really. We deserve to win the game, and as I've said before, we just need to have a little bit more of that killer instinct in the side at the moment. It's just not quite happening for us, and a little bit disappointing, but we didn't get beat. And again, realistically, I didn't expect us to be in a playoff fight, but the fact that we are there is a positive in itself. It is quite tight in that mid-table area, isn't it, as well? We do need to make sure we get a couple of wins on the board, and hopefully we can do so. Harper making his professional debut in the end in that game didn't really come to anything, did he? We didn't see a lot of him realistically, so we'll have to see what happens in the next game. It's only in a couple of days' time, so bear with me. We'll come back for that one, and hopefully we can get another good result on the board and keep that pressure on for the playoffs. Okay, then here we go for the game against Marine. Hopefully, we can get a good result. And in terms of what I was speaking about before with the senior affiliate, my wish has come true. We have been linked with League One side Rotherham United. They are quite an up and down club between the Championship and League One. They have got very good quality players and they've got a reasonable youth system at the club as well. So a very beneficial affiliation with Rotherham where we may be able to get some good players in on loan for no cost of wages. That's the important thing. No cost on wages. I have found it's a lot more difficult to find players like that where you can't get the loan players in without paying wages to them. So having the affiliates are going to be a little bit more important, I think, at this stage, especially in the non-league stage of our career here at the start. And this is a very good affiliate. To get a partnership with a League One club, I think this will be very, very good for us. And fingers crossed, we can find some good talents ready for next season. So going into this game, there's not going to be too many changes, I don't think. Stobbs has taken a knock, so Weston will play on that right-hand side from the start today. Um, Charlie Weston will start in the midfield as per usual as well. Other than that, the squad is pretty much exactly the same. The back four, well, the back five realistically, are basically picking themselves at the moment. We have got a few contractual stalemates in there at the moment as well. Like I say, players want a lot more money. Hawkins and Weston, two players I want to realistically be keeping. I'm not too fussed if Hawkins goes. Kobe Brooks has signed an extension on his contract. He is very small for a goalkeeper, but in terms of his actual quality, he's not too bad. So from that perspective, we can make use of him. So if Hawkins does leave, I mean, he's on £400 a week. Sobavale, he wants a pay increase, which again, I'm not um, too sure about giving it him, to be honest. He's broken into the team a little bit more recently. But again, if he wants a pay rise, it's not something realistically we can be doing regularly. And Richards as well at 32 years of age and Stokes at 34 years of age. I'm not too sure whether to extend their contracts by a year as well, or whether we go in a different direction and try and bring in some slightly better quality. The two of them have been very good for us this season. But again, I'm just not too sure which way to go going into next season. It might be worth keeping them as part of the core of the side, if you see what I mean. But it's a difficult one, and I believe that transfers are a lot more difficult when it goes into the summer in terms of finding the free transfers. Obviously, the director of football recommendations, you don't really see that now, and it's been taken out of the game, I believe. So it could be a little bit more difficult, but hopefully we'll find a way of doing it. And as you can see, It's a very typical non-league scenario, this one. The pitch is full of snow. It is pouring down with rain. And yeah, we'll see well, I say we'll see. We'll try and see what's going on with everything as the game goes on. And I think it will be a difficult game, this one. Marine have beaten us 3 times so far this season by the odd goal as well. 2 times 1-0, the other one was 2-1. And our former player, Curran, has left us for them as well. He was a player that wasn't getting used realistically, and he was on £450 a week. It made sense for him to go as Ambersley picks it up on the left-hand side. Can he get into the penalty area? I've no idea because I can't see the pitch lines of the penalty area. I think I can just about see them, but in the end, the chance goes begging, and we do need a home win. Like I say, losing 3 out of 3 in our last home games, it's not ideal. We need to be picking it up a bit. Our away form, luckily, has improved, so we have made weight with it a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's very difficult conditions. This I can't realistically. I can see it being a big mistake that will cause a defeat for either side today. We just need to keep disciplined, and hopefully we can find a way to get everything sorted in the match. As Charlie Weston launched it forward, and I don't think the players can really majorly tell what's going on. I mean, Marine for a start playing in white, and everywhere's covered in snow, so I think it's a camouflage tactic personally. And Sinclair Smith tries to play it in, and it's taken a slight deflection off the defender, and it goes out for a corner, which he will take himself, and it's going to be swung in to that right into the centre of the penalty area. We do manage to get it away, and it's come for Eames, who plays it into Weston. He's not got a lot of support here. He's going to have to go it alone, I think. And he's shot from distance, and it's looped over. And the keeper, to be fair to him, he seemed very confident that that was going over. But from the angle that we could see there, it did look a little bit dicey. And fair play to the keeper for having the confidence he did, because I was looking at that thinking it was going to dip him toward the end there. But again, performance-wise, I'm not displeased. We're doing well. Again, it's just lacking that extra bit of quality, and I think realistically, I think we do need a proper out-and-out goal scorer. I'm toying with the idea of going 2 up front next year because at times we do lack that finishing touch, but at the same time, in terms of the team shape and everything, it's certainly seen as improved defensively. Over the course of the campaign. Obviously, we've tried a few different tactics. We're trying to get things right. But at times, it's just not quite been right for us. And Anson is there, and that is a huge, huge opportunity. He should have hooked it really to go across the goal, but I'm quite happy that he didn't. And at the moment, neither side really doing enough. Both sets of wingers have been poor, and yeah, realistically, as I suspected, I think this could be one of those games where neither team is going to do enough just because of the conditions that they're playing in. We haven't got the options out wide. Realistically, I would have made the 2 changes. And to be quite honest, I think what I will do, I'm going to bring Harper and Midgley on. And I'm going to push them a little bit more central as the attacking midfielders. We'll just see how it works with the narrow formation. Like I say, I'm not entirely sure how it will go, but we will see how things develop from there. We'll just do things like that out of possession. It's very unlike me to change things like this mid-game, but we haven't got the options out wide, and I think, to be honest, it could be an interesting format. Midgley and Harper trying to get into the team a little bit. It gives them both the opportunity in a more natural position as well. Here is Ezanolim. Just holding on to possession, coming down the left-hand side. Obviously, normally we do play with those wingers because that is our style of play. We want the wing play. Midgley has just broken out wide here. He's got a little bit more support in the centre. James into Harper, turns to get into the penalty area, and Harper just couldn't hit the target. I mean, the conditions are very difficult at the minute, and I'm under no illusion that it's a very difficult game at the best of times without having these conditions in tow as well. And Hawkins now rolls out to Sobowale into Stokes, plays it out wide to Ezanolim. Will he have the support ahead of him? Yeah, he can if he finds the pass inside. He's still going here, does find the little pass into Harper. And now Eames, chance to get into the penalty, plays it back, and Midgley couldn't quite get the shot away. The defender just got a block on it, and Barnsley picks it up. But from attacking perspective, I'm actually quite intrigued here. It does seem to be working a little bit. I know the players' ratings aren't particularly great, but Eames and James have played a little bit better as well since the wingers have broken to come inside a little bit. So interesting to see. Obviously, the players will roam a little bit from that position that we've set them in, but overall, I'm intrigued. It could be another tactic that we can make use of a little bit more regularly. I'm happy with the clean sheet. Again, we've just lacked it a little bit going forward, but overall, a good performance. And 2 draws today. Again, not the most ideal of situations, but especially considering the circumstances in that game. And it also ends our run against Marine as well. They've beaten us 3 times this season. I'm quite happy that we didn't lose against them this time, so I will take it. Again, not the most entertaining, but it is what it is. And again, we're aiming for mid-table. If we can reach the playoffs, it'd be a great achievement this season. But I'm not too focused on that for our first campaign. In terms of overall fixtures, we are going to get through a few more games before we come back again. Obviously, we've got the last couple of games of the season there. And to be quite honest, mid-table obscurity is what it's going to be looking like. So I think we come back potentially. I mean, Macclesfield are right near the top of the league. It will be a good game to come back for. If we do Macclesfield and Kings Lynn, we'll just get through a few games. Macclesfield and Kings Lynn, and then the last 2 games of the season there against Buxton and Alfreton. And yeah, we'll see how things go from there. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.